review of Life After Lockup Season 6, Episode 9, DNA All the Way. If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Now, y'all, I don't know what just happened a minute ago. I was up here going live, and then a short played, and all types of stuff happened. I had to clean the phone off. It was a bunch of stuff. So anyway, I had to delete the live that I was about to do, and I had to come back and re-upload it again. So we are live. You didn't miss anything. I did not even begin talking about the couples, and so we about to get into this week's review. Okay, all right. So I hope y'all had a great happy Sunday. I'm gonna give YouTube some time to let y'all know I am on. I am a little behind. Y'all know my lives, I normally do them at 6 p.m. but had to go to the grocery store. I also watched the game today. I went to go see that, and my team lost. So I'm a little like disappointed with them, especially because I live in Atlanta and they played the Falcons and they lost against them, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to go to work and hear the crap, but whatever. We live to fight another day. Okay, but anyway, football was footballing today. I'm a football chick. I will watch my team as well as other teams, but especially my team. So I can't believe they lost. Still trying to get over it, but whatever. Let's get into why you really came here, which is the review for Life After Lockup. Okay, let's kick it off with Will and Courtney. Okay, I don't even know why. First of all, the title of this week's episode was really crazy. DNA All the Way. I don't even understand why they're doing that. Maybe because JK is going to try to figure out if Alex's baby is actually his. I don't know what that title was about, but whatever. So Will and Courtney, why are they still on my television screen? Will and Courtney is annoying. They don't have nothing else going on. They could have wrapped Will and Courtney up. What's up, Dream? What's up, Joseph? Hey, hello, welcome to the live. They could have wrapped Will and Courtney up on the season finale, which is going to be next week. They could have just gave us a little blurb of what happened to them. We didn't need to have them come on this episode, for real. But let's get into them. So they're getting ready for this interview. Like, they have nothing going on. They have nothing going on so bad that they had to work in their interview as a part of the review for this show. So they're up here. What's up, Frederick? Welcome to the live. They're up here prepping for their interview, right? What's up, Star? They are, Will is mad because she got dropped off by some dude, okay? Will, it's over. Why do you even care? She got dropped off by some dude. Will, I can't feel sorry for him because he keeps alluding to the fact that Courtney had a bunch of sugar daddies while she was locked up. But Will, you were one of the sugar daddies. So you played your role, sir. So now when you get out and she's not behaving in the way that you want her to because you feel as if you have wifed up your sugar baby, then she should be grateful and on her knees praising you and stuff. And when that didn't happen, now you wilding out and freaking out and stuff because you feel like that she should be on her knees grateful to her savior Will for taking her out of a toxic situation. However, what you don't know is that Courtney has other sugar daddies and other friends in the back pocket that she can rely on to get funds from. So you're not the only one, Will. So I don't know why you sitting up here crashing out every 5 seconds. Will is going through it, preparing for this interview with Courtney. He is going through all these emotions. He's laughing, he's crying, he's acting crazy, he's drinking. I mean, he's all over the place. He said his heart is broken at the fact that he would never get to see Courtney again after this. And I was wondering, why is he going through all this? Why? Because he lets us know that him and Courtney just slept together the other night, okay? So you already know when you had the good old sex with somebody and breakup sex too, when you're trying to figure out if you want to be done with them, that can bring on some emotions or some things that, you may thought you was done with, but you're not. And Will really does, I believe, still want to be with Courtney. He's just trying to put on because Courtney has moved on and had different friends and all this other stuff. But Will, really does want her to change her mind and be with him, okay? Joseph said, thank you. Will wanted to divorce. Will wanted the divorce and Courtney gave it to him. Yep. Yet he still questions who she sleeps with like they're still together. Right. because he really still wants to be with her. He only gave her the divorce because because Mark was giving her money and took care of her and all this other stuff. But Will, you took vows. That's your wife. So if you're not going to give her the money and take care of her, Courtney's going to go out and find it from somebody, and she found it from Mark. So why are you now mad? I mean, I don't understand that. So they up in this interview, right? Which is really stupid. Producers are trying to ask them questions. Producer asked who dropped her off. She said it was a friend. And Will is like, yeah, that's one of many friends that you've had. Courtney starts laughing. What's up, Betty Lewis? I'm great. How are you? Courtney starts laughing. Courtney starts laughing in his face basically because she thinks it's a joke, and it is a joke. They don't have anything going on. They're over with basically. Will said, of course, they had sex the other day, and I believe that's why he's crashing out, okay? I'm done with this couple. I don't want to see them no more. Thank God next week is the season finale where we can wrap them up and we don't have to even pay attention to Will and Courtney ever again. Okay, let's move on to the next couple, which is going to be Demadric and Kiana. Okay, I'm sick of this couple too. The narrative of their whole storyline. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate it. Joseph said Courtney was laughing like she was watching Def Comedy Jam. I know. Courtney was over it because if you think about it, it really is comical. Like, why are you getting an attitude? Like you said, Joseph, you asked this woman for a divorce. She signed the papers finally and gave you the divorce. Okay, now when she pulls up with other dudes or when she has friends that's helping her out, now you get an attitude. Why? Because Will wanted to be her end all be all. He wanted to be the one that she relied on. But Courtney said, bump that. Okay, you don't, one monkey don't stop this show. I'm going to have, my life fulfilled one way or another. Man or woman, I don't care. Courtney says she's going to be good, okay, in the hood. Demadric and Kiana, I'm sick of them. I don't want to see them no more either. It's getting on my nerves. So Demadric is driving her to go see this investigator. Y'all remember last week, this investigator rolled up on Joella, his baby mom, and was asking her questions about Kiana and trying to get her to drop these charges and all other types of stuff, right? And so this week, Demadric decides that he wants to drive her to the investigator. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Demadric say that he was nervous to be around any type of law enforcement, lawyers, things like that? He's triggered because he just got out of jail, right? Thank you so much, Shady. How are you? Welcome to the live. Make sure y'all like this video and make sure you're subscribing to the Redefine Me channel. So did Demadric say that he was scared of law enforcement, but all of a sudden now he can go drive her to the investigator's office and sit in there with a lawyer and investigator? So what happened to all them triggers and fears? Nah, last week he didn't want to go because he knew Joella was coming over, and maybe he thought he was going to be able to get the sex from Joella last week or whatever he wanted to happen with her. See, Demadric is playing games with these two women, and they are stupid to sit up here and keep letting him play these games with his old 1990 braids in his hair. I cannot stand it. He's ugly to me inside and out because he's playing this game with these women. But you know what? People only do to you what you let them do. All right. So Joella pulls up to the dad's house while they on the way to the investigator's house. Joella goes over to his dad's house. I don't know why the dad has become a main character. Like, why is everybody confiding in the dad like he has some type of wisdom? I don't like the dad. Y'all know I've said that several times. I can't rock with the dad. I don't like the dad. Because as soon as Joella pulls up, he's like, baby mama. She's like, sir, I have a name. I said, get them together, Joella. Okay, do not let him be calling you baby mama. You have a name, and he needs to respect you as Joella. That is your name, okay? So she goes over to the dad and she's talking to him, and Joella is telling the dad about the investigator. Why again are you confiding in this dad? I do not understand. Fast forward over back at the investigator attorney's office. Kiana is over there and she is talking to the investigator. Demadric is sitting beside her. The lawyer is letting her know what the investigator did, that he went over to Joella's house and all of that. The investigator tells her that Joella said she would drop the charges if she She has a conversation with Kiana. That is one of her things that she wants to do. And Kiana is like, I ain't with the conversation because she's a goofy and it's just going to go left. Okay. He says, well, you are facing Class B misdemeanor charges. And I was thinking, because the lawyer did say, Joella obviously thinks that one of you all did this to her vehicle. So as y'all know, somebody flattened her tires. Somebody messed up her car. I think now that it is Demadric. And if it is Demadric and he's letting Kiana go through all this drama, he's even more trash than I thought. Joseph said, I don't see it for Joella, but the baby mama comment from the dad was disrespectful. Like, that's not the mother of his grandkids. Right, exactly. Because he's a goofy. He's just the older version of Demadric. That's all he is. So Demadric is saying that he gets his confessionals and he's saying that comparing Joella and Kiana to we're talking about Life After Lockup. It is a show that comes on Friday nights on WE TV. And we are reviewing this Friday's episode that just happened. These are about inmates who are locked up, who ends up getting out, and they form a relationship with somebody while they're in jail. And when they get out, then they begin life with them. Okay, so Demadric is in his confessionals, right, and he is comparing Joella and Kiana to like a fight between what do you say, a dinosaur and something, comparing them to two animals, right, and saying that it's not good for them to be together because then they'll begin to fight and all of this, and it's a problem. Sir, you are the problem. You're the reason why these two women are acting this way. You are the common denominator. And the sooner these women realize that, get you out of their lives and go on with their life, they will have so much more peace, so much more happiness, because you're the toxic one. And I don't understand it. Sex ain't all that. Let me just say that. The D ain't all that, okay? I know some men out here be laying it low, dropping it wild, all that other stuff. It's not all it's cracked up to be, okay? You should not let a man's penis control your mind. You need to have some self-control, and you need to stop letting him lead you astray, Joella and Kiana. That is not, they need to wake up and smell the coffee. Joseph said, I get what he was trying to say, but I just don't like people, I just don't like comparing black women to, exactly. I get what he was trying to say too, but it was just like, you're the problem in this whole situation. He's annoying. And that's all that really happened with them. They didn't have nothing going on for real. I just can't. I can't with them. Let's move on to Letitia and Keith, okay? Letitia and Keith is also another couple that I feel don't have nothing going on, but they're still on this show for some reason, okay? Letitia is open up. Y'all know last week she was at the coffee shop / her office. And she gets a phone call from the lawyer. So when she gets the phone call from the lawyer, she's talking to the lawyer on the phone and she leaves the coffee shop. Now, her cousin was there. You said the what? What's up, Pop? Whatever. Okay, I don't understand what you mean. There's something ain't coming out. Okay, I don't know. So Letitia is on the phone, and she is on the phone with her lawyer, and the lawyer tells her something that makes her have to leave. Now, y'all know her cousin was there to talk to her, but Letitia gets in the car and leaves. So I was like, Dad, you just left your cousin at the coffee shop. You didn't tell your cousin, girl, I'm out to go, or nothing like that. You just up and left. That's just crazy to me, okay? So after that, they get back to the house, okay, after she had met with the lawyer. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, y'all. All right. So, what's up, Bryce? From Canada, Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live. So now fast forward, they are back at Letitia's house, okay? They're at Letitia's house and they are up here having dinner, okay? And so they're having dinner. It's Letitia, Keith, her daughter, and the son and everything. Letitia's like, oh, I'm about to, cook for y'all. Y'all about to eat. We about to throw around. I'm thinking Letitia about to make something, popping, right? Joseph said, but Letitia probably left her cousin with the exactly, because she definitely didn't put no money out on the table, okay? And so she says, I'm about to cook for y'all. It's about to be good. When she put the plate down, I said, what the heck is when she put the the plate down, it was chicken tenders. It looked like chicken tenders, some string beans, and some rice and some mashed potatoes. It looked like school lunch, okay? It looked like raggedy school lunch. That's what it looked like. But I was like, whatever, Letitia, if they eat it and if they love it, hey, who am I to throw shade at your cooking, right? So they up here eating and everything. And then Keith's son goes and says that, you know, he's really appreciative of being able to have somewhere to live. And then Letitia fakes get a tear and get all choked up. Keith is like, oh, look what you did. You made her cry. Boy, please, ain't no tear fall from her face. And I don't know why they're bringing in Keith's son into the madness, because Keith's son act like he was living at the Manson family house or something. Sir, you were at your grandfather's house. You had somewhere to live. So not only are they playing this game where they have no storyline, they're bringing Keith's son into the crap as well, okay? So the kids go and clear their plate and everything. And then Letitia is talking to Keith because her lawyer told her that she needs to take a plea deal, because if she don't take the plea deal, she's looking at 15 years, okay? So she says, you know, should I take the plea deal? And if I take the plea deal, you know, that would be less time. If I have to go to jail, Keith, then, you know, things are going to change. So Keith was like, well, what would happen to the kids? I said, well, dang, ain't you her husband? You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of understood what he meant, but the way he said it was like, so what you want me to do type thing, because them ain't my kids. You know what I'm saying? He was making, so Letitia said, you know, Naraya, her older daughter, her father is very active. But the other girl's father, she said that I'm afraid that he's going to try to take me for custody, meaning that the youngest girl's father is probably not in her life like that. But if Letitia go to jail, then he might try to get custody of her. But never did Keith step up and say, you know, I got your back when you go in. I'm gonna make sure the house taken care of, the kids taken care of, and all of that. No, he was looking at her like, so what we gonna do? Because if you go into jail, I ain't got no job. I'm not about to sit up here and be responsible for all these responsibilities. So I'm just gonna go over my dad house and let the chips fall to where they may, including your children. Letitia, that red flag won through infinity. I would have been done with Keith. I would have had him clarify what he meant. But the way I was looking at it, he don't want nothing to do with your kids for real. He's only dealing with them because they're your kids and you're his wife, okay? So at least he don't definitely want the youngest daughter, because she don't see it for him. I mean, the oldest daughter. The youngest daughter, he might check on her, but that ain't his child either. So anyway, Letitia goes and she also asks Keith, so that's why you have to adopt the youngest daughter, because if you adopt her, then her biological dad can't try to get custody. I'm confused, because you cannot adopt. If the man is wanting to be in her life and go to court and get custody, Keith cannot adopt somebody's biological child. Like, I'm confused. Unless he signs over his rights and says he doesn't want anything to do with the child. Like, that's the way I thought it flew. But she up here spitting out some type of adoption stupid stuff. And I'm like, girl, you sound dumb. I said, why is that Letitia act like she's 15 years old? This woman is almost 40. How old is Letitia? About 38, 39, something like that. But she act like she's a freaking child. I don't understand why you don't know the laws and rules concerning your children and what to do and what not to do. Why do you keep finding yourself in legal situations? Why are you just acting like this? Even if this is fluff for the show and if they don't have a storyline, the bottom line, ma'am, is that you out here on these streets, on these syndicated streets, acting like an idiot at your big age, and you do not know how to properly take care of your children and do not even have a plan for what will happen to them if you find yourself in jail. You're relying on Keith. Keith just got out of jail. I don't care if he's your man, your man, your man. He is still not someone that I would leave in charge of my children. But again, she chose this type of foolishness in her life. For some reason, I don't know. Letitia gives me like she has some screws missing or something. I don't understand it. So now she getting ready to go sign this good old plea deal, right? Fast forward. Joseph said, I think Keith would have stepped up and took, excuse me, excuse me, care of the youngest child if Letitia went away, but I doubt he would have remained loyal yet to her while locked up and eventually cheat on her. Yep, I believe it too. I believe it too. So fast forward, Letitia's getting ready to go to court. I am 43, Betty. So Letitia's getting ready to go sign the plea deal. She's getting ready to go to court. She puts on this outfit like she about to go out on date night with Keith. Did y'all see her outfit? I was just like, wait a minute. Betty, if you are 12 years old, you have to get out of this room because I do not allow children in this room. And I clarified that before I go live. So I don't know how you were able, but I guess 12 years old is not considered a child in some countries. But in the US, it's still a child. So if you are 12, I'm gonna have to show you the door. So I hope you're not trolling. Are you really 12? I'm kidding. Hey, Mercury. I don't even know if you're kidding, but all right, I'm gonna flow with my line. So Letitia is getting ready to go sign this plea deal and go to court. She has on this whole outfit that looks like she about to go out on date night, okay? She had like this black dress on, the split all up. She had jewelry all on. And I'm just like, girl, you're going to court. You didn't even know how to dress for court. You could have worn like a nice little pantsuit, a nice little skirt pantsuit or something. She was looking, had like a collar, a sheer piece up here. She was looking like she was about to go have a date night, not go to court, okay? She gets to court. They go up in there for a few minutes. Then she comes out with Keith. And Keith is talking about some on the way there that he's going to hold her down. That is not true. Okay, I do. Okay, I guess. So Keith says he's going to hold her down. What's up, Keith? And Chief. And Chief, I think that's how you say it. And so he said he's going to hold her down. I don't believe it. They go into court. They stay in there for a few minutes. They come out and they find out that Letitia is not going to have to go to jail and do any time. Now, she's not done with the case, but she doesn't have to go to jail. So I believe she may have to pay some restitution and different things like that. And that's what they did say. She has to pay restitution, but she can go home, okay? Keith said that he has her back no matter what had happened. Like I told you, I believe that's a lie. Now, after they got out the court, Letitia starts talking about wanting to have a wedding once they got to somewhere to go celebrate and have drinks. She's talking about she wants to have a wedding. She's another one that wants to have a wedding, saying that they got married when he was locked up, which that was your choice, okay? But she wants to have a wedding and all of that. Keith says it's going to cost. How are we going to pay for this wedding? She says, we can do what we need to do, but I want to have a wedding. I deserve a wedding. And so Keith is just, they get into this little argument, and Letitia is like, wait, did you even want to marry me? And then Keith makes this face. And I'm just like, Keith gives me the same thing that, what's the man name? Daniel. Keith gives me, he's doing the same thing that Daniel did. Maybe he married Letitia because he did not want to go to a halfway house. And he knew that Letitia had an actual house to go to. And so that's why he probably married her, because he don't want nothing to do with her kids. He ain't even look like he been looking for any type of employment. He looks like as soon as she goes into jail, he is going to very much cheat on her. Like a lot of stuff Keith is giving these flags about, okay? But Letitia is just trying to push her will and want to be with him and my husband and my man and all this other stuff. She talking about how much she held him down, locked up, but we already know and see that he's not going to return the favor if she was to get locked up, okay? Yes, I live in the U.S. All right, y'all, let's move on for this couple. On to the next one, which is Zariah and Troy, okay? They went out to eat at the memorial service, that crazy memorial service from last week where Troy had rubbed the ashes all over his face and in his hair and on his back and all type of crazy stuff. I never seen nothing like that before in my life. I have seen people go and send their parents or whomever ashes off to sea, but I have never seen a person rub ashes all over themselves. Okay, no, I don't live in Tennessee. And so they're going out to eat. The whole family's going out to eat, okay? Joseph said, I know Keith was locked up, but does he even know the woman that he married? Her facial expressions were killing me. Yes, Letitia always had these crazy facial expressions, and Keith does not know Letitia. He just needed somebody that was going to be a ride or die. And that's what Letitia showed him. He also wanted to have somebody house that he could go to instead of that halfway house, I'm telling you. Okay. And so they went out to eat, right? And went out with the family with Z and Troy. So Troy gets up and he makes a toast thanking everybody for showing up for his family. He tells everybody that him and Z are planning a wedding and he wants his whole family to come. Okay. Fast forward, Yana pulls up, all right? So it's raining outside, and Yana pulls up to pick up baby Troy. Now, this part right here is crazy because Troy is saying that he wants to have a good relationship between Z, Yana, for the sake of the baby and the family and all this other stuff, right? But at the same time, you sit up here and entertain Yana's crap. I didn't like what Yana did in this moment, okay? She's in the car. It's raining outside. She's calling Troy. Troy goes outside. He gets in the car. They're talking, and she's saying that I don't want anything to do with Z. Me and you can co-parent, but I don't want nothing to do with her. And it's probably because her and Z have been seen out on the good old, what's up, Kelly? That hug Troy gave his baby mama was a bit unknown. Yes, I know. He hugged her like, what's up? He was a little bit too cuddly. You know what I'm saying? And so they're in the car, they're talking. I understand that they had beef. You know what I'm saying? They had beef out on the Facebook streets and all of that. But Yana, just deal with Troy, okay? Because that's what she said she want to do. For the sake of baby Troy, I'm just going to deal with you. I don't want nothing to do with Z. I don't have to have nothing to do with her. Joseph said Z and Troy weren't really needed this season. They were not. I thought they were going to give us something, but it fell flat. Yes, they should have brought Mama Karen and scenes more. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Betty, for subscribing. And so he gets in the car. Then he's like, well, let me go get the baby, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, it's raining outside. Yana, if you are trying to be an adult woman, his family knows you, right? Who gives a crap if Z was sitting there and she stared at you until a hole burst into your forehead? You're coming to pick up your daughter. You're co-parenting with Troy. Why are you having him bring your daughter outside in the rain? He has to hug his daughter in the rain and put her in the car with you. I'm sorry. I would have went inside and picked my daughter up because no matter if Z would like me or not, if I was Yana, no matter if she liked me or not, I'm still going to be around in y'all life because I am his daughter's mother. And so that's going to be a given. It's going to be always. Okay? So she brings baby Troy out, gets in the car. Troy says, thank you for bringing her and all of that. He gives her this inappropriate hug. I think Yana was childish in this moment. I'm sorry. I agree, Kelly. Normally I rock with Yana, but she was childish in this moment. I'm sorry. And so they are having, fast forward, we get to belly is out. Like she's showing, she's full-fledged in pregnant mode, okay? They are having a boy. And in my opinion, when Troy was in those confessionals, he looked so tired. So like he did this stare that he did. Like he was just like he was just out of it. Like something isn't right up here. Like I don't know what's going on with Troy. He's emotionally unstable. He should not be bringing a child into the world, in my opinion. Joseph said, I was on Yana's side at first. Right. But her attitude this season has been getting on my nerves. It's like she's mad that she was not chosen by Troy when he got out of jail. Yeah. I mean, at first I was on her side too, but she's doing a little bit too much. Like, okay, this man has married Z. You know that. Okay, Z, I ain't no fan of hers either. But at the end of the day, that's his wife. You're his baby mom. Y'all are always going to be around each other, if not all the time, but at certain points, because baby Troy is still young. So as she gets ready to graduate, as she gets ready to get married, as she has kids of her own, as she goes into different areas of her life, you all are going to be in the same spaces. So you have to learn how to commingle with each other, at least be cordial. Joseph said, Yana has to be realistic. Z is Troy's wife. Right. If baby Troy is with her father, then they're going to be right. That's just what I say at times when she's going to be around Z. Well, whether Yana likes it or not. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, you can, Betty. So, I was just like, I didn't understand why Yana, whatever. I think Yana kind of still wants Troy, in my opinion. I think she still wants Troy, and I think that she's kind of mad, like you said, Joseph, that he didn't choose her when he got out. But that's neither here nor there. So they're together, deal with it, Yana, just co-parent with the dude. Fast forward, we had this big old baby bump that Z has. They're having a boy, and Troy gets on the phone, and Troy calls the mom. Troy says, "Mom, I need you to get a bus ticket because I need you to come here." Miss Karen is too funny to me. She was like, "Why you want to tell me at the last minute, Troy? What you gonna tell me that for, Troy? Who gonna buy the ticket?" I was like, but I was Miss Karen, because don't call me up out of the blue talking about somebody need you to come here 2 hours away. Joseph said it's like Z and Yana aren't going to be best friends, but if they see each other and pass it, it needs to be a simple hi bye. Right. Keep it moving on a cordial note. Right. Absolutely. That's what I think too. Just be cordial. I mean, you ain't gotta like somebody. You just be, hey, how you doing? Bye, whatever, and keep it pushing. Right? So Miss Karen was a little irritated because Troy called her the last minute. Troy says he gonna buy the ticket for her. Miss Karen said, all right, cool. Because Miss Karen was like, long as I'm not buying the ticket, all right. So fast forward, he goes and picks Miss Karen up. She got the ticket, goes to pick her up. She get in the car and she's like, hey, what's going on? She don't know about the baby, although Z's family knows about the baby. Z's tells us in the confessionals that, her and Miss Karen don't have the best relationship because she's disrespectful. Troy is up here saying, he wants his mom to chill. He don't want to deal with the BS, but he picks his mom up because he's going to bring her to the house, I guess, and break the news to her that Z is pregnant. But when she sees Z, she's going to know that she's pregnant. But my thing is this. Why can't you just call your mom on the phone and tell her that? You want to sit up here and send her a ticket to bring her 2 hours away just to tell her that Z is pregnant? I don't understand it. You could have called me on the phone and told me that, and I would have been like, oh, congratulations. Whenever the baby shower is, then send me a bus ticket, and I'll come, right? Karen, Miss Karen gets in the car and she says, so what's going on? What's the news? Are y'all breaking up? And I was like, child. Miss Karen is out of pocket. So she up here, he's like, no, we ain't breaking up. And so she rides to the house. She's like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what it is. I just had to guess. While she's sipping on her cup. And y'all could already guess what's probably in that cup, okay? But that's all that happened with Miss Karen is either high or drunk all the time. I don't know what it is, but baby, she is comical at times. Karen may be a bit much at times, but I would love to hang out with her. She looks like she plays a mean game of space. I know she does. Let's move on to the next couple, which is going to be Mike and Justine. Gosh, they suck. Okay. So we open up with them. They are still sitting at the restaurant having dinner with the family, talking about this big extravagant wedding that Justine wants, okay? And when she says she's going to take care of her parts, Mike gets fake mad and he walks out of the restaurant. The parents is still there trying to tell Justine that Mike is maybe feeling overwhelmed and things of that nature. Justine says, well, let me go check on him. She puts on her fur or her smur coat or whatever it was, because I don't think it was no real fur, but whatever. If she wants to think that, that's on her. Mike says that he is just upset because he's coming up short. And this is what I gotta say to you, Mike. You're coming up short because you keep trying to do all of these side hustles and it's not working. It'd be different if you had a side hustle or a business that was thriving, that you were about to open up, that has, the clientele and different things like that. Okay. But you sit up here and you were having all these different side hustles. You got 9 kids. You got a house to pay for. You got a wife. All these things, dude. It may be time for you to just say, you know what? Let me go get a job or 2 jobs or whatever so that I can have some money come in, because these side hustles where it's good to be an entrepreneur, because I don't believe in any 9 to 5s. I believe that jobs are a joke because of the way they treat you, what they require from you. You got to request off to go on vacation. You go on lunch whenever they tell you to. You gotta be there and all this. And it's other things out here where you can make way more money than at a 9 to 5, just in my opinion, right? But most of the world have to do it for the time being until whatever they really want to do jumps off, right? And so I'm not against Mike wanting to go and pursue his side hustles, but these things are crashing and burning. And now you got this wife that is like Justine that wants to live this glamorous Hollywood lifestyle, and you can't support that. But you knew that going into this, because Justine didn't just start being this materialistic and wanting all of these things, Mike. And so now you want everybody to boo-hoo, pat you on the back. But the bottom line is that your stuff isn't working, right? And he's up here still saying he's not being honest with her about their money issues. I know, right? I know, Kelly. Because I was about to do it, but I'm trying to give it a little, you know what? You're right, Kelly. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, Betty, if you're watching, but you know, you got to go there for a minute. Kelly's absolutely right. Because I was about to do it and I was like, but yeah, you're right. And she's there for a minute. That's too funny because I was thinking the same thing. And so he needs to get something regular and consistent, because if not, he is going to be stressed. You are welcome, Kelly. He's going to continue to be stressed, and he's telling us that he's not being honest with Justine about his money issues. Why are you not telling her what's up? Why? Because they need to have some form of storyline to keep us intrigued. But y'all suck. We're not intrigued. We just deal with y'all because y'all on the show. But why won't you be honest with this woman? Just sit down and tell her, listen, I'm broke. And then Justine, even if he don't say it, you know that your man, if he has a certain amount of money or not, right? So Justine said that Mike promised her this big wedding. When she gets outside to check on him there, she's woo-wooing him, checking on him, whatever. But she also lets him know, you promised me this big wedding, okay? And Mike is like, yeah, and all of that. And he's like, it's just a little stressful and all of this, okay? Fast forward the next day, right? Justine really does think she's a movie star. She comes out of the daggone room after getting dressed with these freaking glasses on. And I said, where the heck are you going? To rom-com or something? Why are these glasses flipped up like this? I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so she comes out looking all crazy. She's going downstairs with her mom because her mom is about to leave. Her and Mike are going to go do some sightseeing for the day or whatever. And the mom is about to hit the road, okay? So she goes downstairs, have a drink with her mom. Her mom says that they get into this conversation, and her mom says, Justine, here's the problem. Here's the problem with you, chick. You've rebelled ever since you was 14, 15 years old, okay? And you want to do what you want to do. What's up, Janae? Welcome to the live. She says you've rebelled since you were a child. You want to do what you want to do, whether it's wrong or right. So her mom finally gave her the business and said, this is why we have a clashing of the heads, because you've been rebellious since you were a child and you want to do what you want to do. And we all see that, right? We all have seen it. And so the mom says that, well, Justine says, when my dad wasn't around, he left and went to the Navy, blase, blah. And the mom is like, oh, so you're blaming the fact that your dad wasn't around. But the mom made a good point. How you going to miss what you never had? Your dad left when you was a baby. So stop sitting up here trying to act like, oh, my dad left and this is why. Justine, no, ma'am. It's not going to happen, okay? Joseph just got finished watching your review. Thank y'all for supporting. Janae also has a channel as well. Please go follow her if you have not done so already. Replay Gang and live watchers, we are helping one another on this YouTube platform. Yes, we are. And I appreciate that, Joseph. That's really awesome. And so, she tries to blame the dad. So now first Justine blames the mom. Now she blaming the dad. Who else you gonna blame, Justine? Because you're running out of people for the way that you are, right? So Justine was agreeing with her mom and all of that, but she goes back to saying, well, my dad, yes. yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are supporting one another. So she goes and says, me and my dad had a rocky relationship and everything like that. We should see pictures of the dad and all of that as much as we could see. And so, fast forward, we get Mike. He's upstairs in the room. Mike makes a phone call to his mom. Hey, mom, let me hold a G. And the mom was like, hello? I know the mom was like, hello, hold on. She was like, called her, who is this? The mom was like, you mean you need $1,000? He was like, yeah, and I give it to you when I get back. First of all, pause. If you don't have $1,000 right now, what makes you think you're gonna have $1,000 when you get back? Because they probably gonna go back the next day or the next 2 days. So what are you getting paid in the next 2 days? I don't understand. I would have been like, so why do you need $1,000? So then Mike gets, the mom sends it, I guess, Cash App, right? And he says that back in the day, he used to be able to just make money like that. So he gonna have to go back to that to make some things shake so he can get money like that. So when the mom sent the 1,000, he talking about something, he know how to make some calls and make some things happen. And I said, pause, Mike, what the heck are you about to do? What are you telling us right now? Are you about to go try to get a brick and flip it? Or what is going on? Like, I don't know what we had just witnessed after the mom sent him the $1,000. I'm thinking he got the 1,000 so he can like put a down payment on the venue or so he can go out with Justine and they can rock out in New York or whatever, because real talk, you could spend $1,000 in New York like that. For real. Janae says, I never asked my parents for that much money. Right. I'm sure they would have given it to me if I needed it. But dang, Mike, I know he didn't. He skipped right past 500 and went straight to a G. I said, dang. But you know what's funny? I never asked my parents for that much money willingly, but one time I went to New York. I drove to New York and my car broke down when I got there. And I had to get it, I had AAA. I had to get it towed to one of their yards. And you know how much it cost to fix the part? It was like $900 and something. I was like, I had to call my dad, and my dad did send me a G. And I was mad because I was like, dang, I got a G. And it ain't even like I'm about to go floss in New York. I got to put it on the freaking car so I can get back to DC. Excuse me. So after that happened, I never drove to New York again. I was like, absolutely not. Okay, but anyway, I got $1,000 in a day, but that wasn't even because, you know, I could flip it or do something with it. My car broke down. So Mike is up here trying to appease Justine. He's talking about, I have to give her this fancy wedding or she's going to leave me. I said, Mike, if Justine leaves you because you don't give her this fancy wedding, then she's trash, because y'all are already married. A marriage is not about the wedding day. There is so many hurdles, ups and downs, and things that you're going to have to tackle within the wedding. The wedding ain't about the ring. It ain't about the dress. It ain't about the day. It is about you two coming together to do life. That is what it's about under the eyes of God. That is a wedding. That is a marriage, put it like that. The wedding is all the bells and whistles, but a marriage is more deeper than that. And because you think she'll leave you because you don't give her a good wedding, then y'all not really married right now then. Because she has to understand, you as her partner should be able to come to her and tell her stuff. See, Mike is scared to tell her about his money issues and what's going on because he feels like she's going to crash out, and she probably is. But if she is, then she is not the woman that you thought, and you don't need to entertain her for too much longer, or you need to let her know this is how you're feeling. You don't feel like this is going to work situation because of the way she acted. See, she's too glamorous and stuff and want all this stuff, and she don't have it like that. You need to sit down with her and let her know we don't have it like that. Even their parents said, don't y'all got a child in college, actually want 2 kids in college and then 8 others or 7 others at the house? Y'all don't have it like that to be looking at some ballroom place in New York. That place is probably going to cost $10,000 to rent out by itself. Joseph said, I think Justine, longing for the presence of her dad, left her feeling broken for a while. Maybe that's why she has abandonment issues, because her dad left her as if he didn't love her. Ain't nobody having, ain't nobody leaving anybody with that house full of Brady Bunch kids. I know, right? But at the same time, Mike signed up for that crap. And to your point, Joseph, I mean, I understand abandonment issues when it comes to a parent, but I also feel like, how long can you hold on to the abandonment issues? Like, as you grow up and get older, yes, you should have some type of therapy or talk to your parent who is present about it, things of that nature. And so you can work through those things. But you have to eventually grow up and move on past those abandonment issues that you feel. You can't let every time something happens, you say, oh my God, my dad left, or oh my God, my mom left, or whatever happened to you. You know, you have to end up moving past some of those issues issues at a certain point. And I think in this moment, now there are some people who did not have the luxury of having like therapy and things like that, and they probably do need therapy like Troy. And so in this moment, though, I feel like she was using the dad thing as a trump card to the mom, as why she was rebellious and all of that. And I don't think that was it, because like her mom said, you can't miss what you never had. Your dad wasn't there from the jump. Now, he may have popped back into her life. What's up, the slum? Her dad may have popped back into her life because we see her with pictures of him. But at the same time, at this point in your life, you can't keep pulling the dad card. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying, but I just feel like Justine just want what she want. And Mike need to stop being some punk, sissy man and tell Justine what it is. We broke, we ain't got no freaking money. We don't have it to do no extravagant wedding. I know what I told you, but we don't have it. Now, if Justine was a real woman, what she could do is say, okay, let's save money to have the wedding that we want. Maybe y'all have a wedding in 2 or 3 years, but you want what you want now. And it's not a possibility, Justine. You need to sacrifice sometimes to get what you want. And if Mike is not able to do it, you stressing this man out. Remember when he first got on the scene, he had a hair full of nice, beautiful hair. Now Mike's hair is... Now Mike ain't got no hair. His hair is like this. It's curling up. It's thinning out. What is going on? You know what I'm saying? He done got bloated up and stuff. Like, you're stressing this man out, Justine. Shoot. Let's move on to the last couple. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Brooke and JK. Oh my gosh. JK is still at Alex's house in his good old pickup truck, hanging out the window, talking about some, she's like, JK, leave, dang. Like, I done told you to get out of my face, leave me alone. JK is still over there. He wants to be with Alex, and Alex is like, it's not a big deal. If Brooke is not what you want, if she's stressing you out, leave her and be with me. What is the problem? I don't understand why is that such a problem? And JK keeps saying that he loves Alex. So why not just be with the one you love and stop tolerating this ghetto fabulous hood rat that is called Brooke? Joseph said Justine and Michael better not even break up after all this wedding talk they had. Also, I know, because they had this talk, I feel like they're going to bring them back. And I'm like, why? You know what? The last episode, which is next week, they better have a wedding, because I don't want to see them no more. Because what you going to bring them back to do? Drag on some new storyline that they going to make up? Because really, we didn't need them this season. They didn't have crap going on. So anyway, he's still at Alex's house. He wants to talk to Alex. Alex is over it. Alex is telling him, look, I don't want to talk about it. Get away from me. When I find out the sex of the baby, I will call you and let you know, okay? JK gets in his car. He finally about to leave. He listening to Brooke's messages. He's like, dang, 17 messages or whatever messages she left. He listens to Brooke's message. She's like, I know you hear me calling you, JK. All you got to do is swipe the phone up and answer the phone. Why you not answering me? I'm sick of you, JK. You probably over there. Be Alex's house and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what the? I said, you should hang up. Hang up, JK. Kelly said, JK parents are very nice because she wouldn't have come in my house. Girl, like that. JK need a sister to drag Brooke. Listen, Kelly, me and you are here because, baby, it wouldn't have been me. It would not have been me. You bring your old dusty, ghetto, fabulous, hood rat, trailer park smelling self over my house, looking like your feet dirty at the bottom. That's how Brooke looked. She looked like she wear flip-flops all the time and her feet dirty at the bottom. That's what it looked like for me, okay? So after he listened to her message, he's like, man, I don't want to deal with that. So he goes and he goes home to his house to go shower or whatever. JK mom is telling him, look, you need to grow up and stop playing games between these two women. Who the heck you want to be with? Grow up and be a man, okay? And she ain't lying. Get your life together, JK. I thought when you got new teeth and a little bit of job and a truck that you would have a brand new attitude, but obviously not. You just still sitting up here playing this little game. You and Demadra, y'all playing these women because they fanning out over y'all for what reason? I don't know, because y'all don't have nothing going on, like absolutely nothing. JK has a nasty shape. He got a dad bod. JK look like a pregnant soccer mom body, okay? He just is disgusting. And looks ain't everything, but he don't even have a good personality either. It's just trash. Joseph said, I don't know, a person like Brooke might actually be hard to get rid of. I know. She looks like she's the type to throw a brick through your window, right? Like Brandy and a thin line between. Yes, she does look like she would do that. She does. So Brooke is up here saying, should I go to JK Mama house or Alex house? She in the valley of decision. She decides to go to JK Mama house, okay? Brooke pulls up and she's banging on the door. Bang, 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 bang. JK, bang, 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 bang. JK. And I was like, it couldn't have been me, because I know I would have been on the couch watching TV and I'd be like, I know. I'm like, is somebody knocking on my door? Child, let me tell you, first of all, JK Mama, you need some black girlfriends. because they give me vibes like they invite people over the house. And if she would have did that when your black girlfriends was over there, baby, Brooke would have got dragged, okay? Or you should have called them, been like, hey, Keisha, come over, because Brooke is at the door. She'd have been like, girl, I'm on my way, because I don't like Brooke anyway, and we about to drag her. Everybody needs them circle of urban hood people, whether they black, white. I ain't never seen no ghetto Asians, but I'm pretty sure they exist. Mexican, Hispanic, listen, get you a crew, because the crew sometimes gotta roll up, because people is wilding out, and Brooke is one of the people. See, Alex didn't bop her in the head good enough. Brooke needs to be knocked out, okay, because she's insane. So she banging on the door, asking for JK. The dad is like, oh Lord. The dad is like, gosh, why is she coming over here? So the dad gets up, right, and he opens the door. When the dad opens the door, did y'all see Brooke push him out of the way? He was like, what do you want? She's like, where's JK? And just come in the house. I said, you know what? Y'all parents, I don't know what's wrong with JK parents, because it would have been no day of the week. Because I would have, man or not, I would have pushed Brooke back out of the door and said, hold up, chick. Who the heck you think you are coming up in my house looking for JK? She's like, where's your son? Push him out the way. Come on in the house. The mom is up here at the table and she's up here, where's JK? She said, why are you in my house yelling like this? She's like, JK is in the shower. Oh, he's all of a sudden in the shower. And then she starts walking down the hallway, JK. And the mom is like, Brooke, don't bring that stuff up in my house. They was probably in there having a good old relaxing Sunday evening. And here comes Brooke with her shenanigans. She's like, JK, she banging on the door and stuff. He's like, what the heck are you doing in my mama's house? Why are you acting like this? We got neighbors and stuff. The mom is like, they'll call the police. They'll call the police. He's talking to the parents crazy, cussing and stuff. I just don't get it. And the parents just let her run up in the house. Maybe because they felt like this is a show. The cameras are here. We got to play along with this crap. Bump that. Cameras there or not. I would have went off script, because I would have knocked Brooke out coming in my house like that. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect my house. Get the heck out of here. You and JK can take that ghetto stuff somewhere else, not in my house, right? So JK takes Brooke outside. He telling her she needs to calm down, because he got to tell her something. And she's like, well, what is it? What do you have to say? This is Brooke all the time. What do you have to say? It's like, it's always real hood. She gives me a headache watching her, okay? So he goes ahead and he tells Brooke, he says, listen, I went to go talk to Alex. And she's like, you went to talk to Alex? Why are you still talking to Alex? You're not supposed to be talking to her. Your dad's not be talking to her. Your family not supposed to be talking to her. The reason the family still talks to Alex, because Alex is not like you, Brooke. They don't want to talk to you because you're a hood rat. Nobody wants to be around hood rats. Kelly said the energy she gives JK, she needs to put in her boys. Exactly. All of the stuff she doing, she needs to be a better mother. Which we have not seen her on this season, but what, 2 times with them boys. Everything else was JK this, leaving her job. She even lost her job over JK, running up over this, fighting the chick over JK, doing all this stupid stuff over JK. It's just ridiculous. She needs to do that with her boys. Put the energy in that. So while he outside telling her he spoke to Alex, all of a sudden the police pull up. I said, child. Somebody in that neighborhood was like, listen, hello, 911, yes. It's a trashy white lady that is outside yelling. I hear a lot of yelling and screaming. If you could come over here ASAP, because I feel unsafe. Then police was like, dude. Joseph say, I know, right? Everybody needs a group of ride or die friends. Yes, that would be down for anything, and form together like a hood, like a hood 18, right? Listen. So the police pull up, and then that was the end of them. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if police was there and they going to get out and say, ma'am, you are disturbing the peace, because she is disturbing the peace. And for what? Like, and then what's crazy is this. Brooke lives, remember, 2 hours away from JK. So she's abandoning her boys, all because he didn't answer the phone all day. Why are you spazzing out? So what? Your man didn't answer the phone. Call him tomorrow. Maybe JK wouldn't be up in Alex's face and wouldn't be acting this way if you would be a normal human being or a normal person in a relationship. When I dated my husband, if I called him and he didn't answer the phone, I was like, okay, well, I just talk to him later, or maybe he's busy or whatever. I didn't blow his phone up 17, 20 times and all this other stuff. That's because she doesn't trust JK and because Alex is still in the picture. Because if Alex wasn't a thing, she wouldn't be up there blowing up his phone and acting all reckless. But let me tell you something. You got me messed up, Brooke, because his parents need to get a backbone. They need to get up off that couch. I know y'all a little wider than all outside, but y'all need to get up off that couch and knuck if you buck, okay? Y'all need to do something. And first of all, JK, you're trash too, because why didn't you drag Brooke out of your parents' house by the ponytail and get her together? Because she came in your parents' house yelling, cussing him out, push the door to the side, push your dad to the side, and all you said was, stop. You're in my parents' house. Let's go outside. Boy, you got me messed up. If I was that mom, I don't care, big or not, I would have sat on her. I would have shot her or something. Shoot. Now you got the neighbors that called the daggone cops. So let's see what's going to happen next week, because you know they're going to leave. They left that for next week because that was the end of their segment with them two. But Brooke is unhinged. She is very... At this point, I want JK to be with Alex. I don't want him to even be with Brooke either. The family don't like her. I don't care for her. She is the type of woman that's going to end up in prison. She gives me prison vibes. She's the one that should have been locked up, because she gives me unhinged in prison. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of my review for this episode of Life After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 9, with DNA all the way. She is very disrespectful. Very. Now, I don't even know what was the point of this title of this show, DNA all the way. I'm like, what the heck? They just making up any titles. They running out of titles. If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and comment, replay watchers. Which couple do you think is coming back when it comes back on? Which couple does not need to be on this show anymore? Or give me your feedback and thoughts on the review or on the episode. Oh, I didn't tell y'all what I give it. I give this episode for me was a 5. I gave it a 5. Joseph says, I don't know if Kathy is supposed to be the big mama matriarch of the family, but she isn't about it as I want her to be, because a skillet should have been upside Brooke's head immediately. Absolutely. I'm telling you, I would have. Girl, when I saw this on the screen, I was so upset. I'm fuming at the screen as if it's my house, because I'm thinking about if it was my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? You just bust up in here. I mean, she literally, if she could have pushed that dad down, if she did a few more steps. It was so disrespectful. It was so uncalled for, all because he didn't answer his phone, and all because she's in fear that Alex is going to take JK away from her, because truth be told, she is threatened by Alex, because she knows that JK still loves Alex in a way that he could never love Brooke. See, Brooke was just a backup, because JK was really dealing with Alex until she kind of cheated on him with somebody while he was locked up. And I don't even call that cheating, because if you locked up for a few years, what I'm supposed to do, sit out here and just be a nun until you get out of jail? You got me messed up. I want to live my life. I'm not going to pause because you're locked up. Now, if you're my husband, that's one thing. But if you're just somebody I'm kicking it with, listen, while you in there, do you get better? But when we get out, if I'm not in a relationship or nothing, then we can kick it. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's Brooke's problem. She's threatened by Alex, and that's what I think. So y'all let me know what y'all think. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to the Redefine Me family. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I'm going to come out tomorrow with a reaction video to Brother Joshua. If y'all haven't heard about Brother Joshua, he is the guy that is up here lying about the rapture and gave this rapture prophecy date of September 23rd or the 24th, and it did not happen. Now, I already did one video about him. Y'all can go ahead and watch that. It's up on my channel, but I'm going to do a part 2 because he has come back out and did another interview about another prediction. This guy is full of the devil and full of lies. So I'm going to do that on tomorrow, and we are going to react to the interview that he did on this I forgot these two girls' channel, Sense Wiz or something like that. But we're going to react to that, and I'm going to give my comments about that, okay? I'm also going to do Motivational Mondays on tomorrow. Y'all know that comes, Joseph said, I'm telling you, as soon as she pushed her way into the house, Hot Grizz should have immediately been splattered everywhere. I know, right? Hot Grizz, a water gun, a hot candle, throw anything. Like, I'm telling you, man, listen, I don't agree with men hitting women, but in this point, it's self-defense. It really is self-defense. Watching new movies on Netflix, Tyler Perry. Oh, yes. Is it good? Oh, Kelly, it is up. I'm definitely going to watch that when I get off of here, and I actually might review it when I watch it. Yeah. I'm going to watch that. I forgot it was up because somebody did remind me that it was up. So that's what I want to do when I get off here with you all. But yes, so I'm going to be doing a reaction video on tomorrow evening. Motivational Monday, of course. It was very good. Good, because Tyler Perry is a hit and miss. Like, he's a hit and miss for real. This guy should have been a meteorologist if he wanted to make predictions, right? Make predictions about the weather, not the rapture. Absolutely. But he up here making all these false predictions, got people up here selling their houses. And my thing is this: if you selling your house and your car, what are you doing with the money? Because if you are saying the rapture is coming, and that means you're not going to be on earth anymore, so why sell it? Like, I don't understand it. You should have just gave it away. Could you imagine the aftermath of something being of a false prediction like this? It's insane. But we're going to talk about it on tomorrow. I'm also going to do a couple of reaction videos throughout the week. And so make sure your notification buttons is on, and we are going to get into it. I love y'all. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. We are growing over here, and I absolutely love it. Okay. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Y'all have a happy and blessed Sunday. It's the beginning of a work week. Don't let no job stress you out. Remember that the job is just a resource, that Jesus is the source. Okay. Don't ever forget that. If a job doesn't appreciate you and you have to move on knowing that God is going to provide for you. He is the source. Don't let these jobs stress you out. Joseph said, I was looking at comments saying Eden, Anita Baker didn't know. Oh, even Anita Baker didn't know when the rapture was coming with that song. Right. Child, that man's a whole mess. And he's very arrogant. Very arrogant. And y'all gonna see why when I do my part 2 of him. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Bye.